Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
And I'm wife.
Together, we're reading the Bible for the very first time.
We grew up without religion and wanted to know what all the fuss was about.
Well, what have we learned so far?
That God is a dick, and apparently some people believe in talking donkeys.
We're not trying to pass ourselves off as experts.
Nope, we're just reading the Bible for the first time and giving our first take reaction.
If you'd like to join us in this venture, you might consider starting at episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in wherever you like.
All right, let's go read the Bible.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Hey wife, did you know that Anchor is sponsoring our show?
Really? Don't we use Anchor to distribute our podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts?
Yeah, and we are on just about every other platform available as well, thanks to them.
Why do we use Anchor as our podcasting service?
Well, they make editing and distributing our show a breeze.
What if one of our listeners wants to start their own podcast?
Then they should head over to anchor.fm or download the app to get started.
Awesome! You guys should go do that right now! Husband!
Wife!
Do you remember what happened yesterday?
Shit. No, I don't.
Are you serious?
I don't.
Solomon built the house of the Lord.
Oh, that's right. He built the house of... Yeah, that fucker.
He... Wow, that was harsh.
Oh, sorry.
He took like 7 years to get all that wood from the Sidonians.
Oh, yeah, they're good choppers.
And he made it out of solid gold.
Yeah.
And
that's right.
They built it.
They built that house of the Lord.
They built that temple right good.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
Okay, so that was 1 Kings chapter 6.
Mm-hmm.
And today we are doing...
1 Kings chapter 7.
All right, let's do this. Hey, wife, do you like coffee in the morning?
I sure do, husband. Morning, noon, night. Which reminds me, I need to add that to our grocery list because we're running low.
Wait, before you do that, check out the website ungodlybrew.com where you can purchase a pound of your favorite flavor of coffee.
What if I want more than 1 pound?
Either order a larger amount or better yet, get 10% off by setting up a subscription for every 2 weeks or a month or whatever works for you.
Did you set up something special for our listeners?
You know I did. Exclusive for our listeners, get an additional 10% off subscriptions by entering the code SACRILEGIOUSCOFFEE at checkout.
That's a hellishly good deal.
Ungodly Brew is hellishly good coffee.
Okay, 1 Kings chapter 7.
Okay.
So Solomon also built a palace for himself.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
I mean, as you built the one for the Lord, might as well build one for yourself,
while
right?
you're at it.
Yeah.
It took him 13 years to complete the construction.
Fuck.
13 years.
God, is that on top? Like, is that after the house of the Lord? So, like, it's like 7 and like 20 years total now?
I don't know. Or is it at the same time? So they overlap.
I don't know. That's a good question.
One of Solomon's buildings was called the Palace of the Forest of Lebanon.
The Palace of the Forest of Lebanon. Okay.
Or
sure.
Lebanon? I don't know. Lebanon?
Lebanon's fine. Whatever.
Okay. It was, we have a town here called New Lebanon. So.
And we have a town named Lebanon.
Yeah. And so I get those confused with Lebanon, which I'm going to guess that it probably should have been the Forest of Lebanon.
Probably, yeah.
Okay. It was 150 feet long, 75 feet wide, and 45 feet high. There were 4 rows of cedar pillars, and great cedar beams rested on the pillars.
Those great cedar beams.
Those beams, they were so great.
Yeah.
The hall had a cedar roof. Above the beams on the pillars were 45 side rooms arranged in 3 tiers of 15 each.
I can't picture what's going on here, but
I
okay.
Can't either. This is boring, and I want to get to story stuff. So I'm like, blah, blah, blah. He built things.
Yeah, right.
On each end of the long hall were 3 rows of windows facing each other. All the doorways and doorposts had rectangular frames and were arranged in sets of 3 facing each other.
That answers our question. They did have windows, apparently.
Yeah, they did.
So there's
but
that.
But did their windows have glass in them?
I mean, that's what a window is to me, but, you know.
No, a window is just an opening.
Well, that's true.
In the wall.
That's true.
To see out.
That's true.
It could have been open.
You're
or it
right.
could have just had bars.
Could have been, yeah.
Okay, blah, blah, blah. Solomon also built the Hall of Pillars, which was 75 feet long and 45 feet wide. There was a porch in front, along with a canopy supported by pillars. Solomon also built the throne room.
Yeah, you got to have a throne room.
Known as the Hall of Justice.
The Hall of Justice. That's such a strong
That sounds like it's from
name.
the Justice League. The Hall of Justice.
Think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Superman and Wonder Woman and all them. The Hall of Justice.
Right.
Teen Titans, where he sat to hear legal matters. It was paneled with cedar.
Of course it was.
From floor to ceiling.
They love cedar.
Solomon's living quarters surrounded a courtyard behind this hall. Oh, I want a courtyard.
Yeah.
You never build me a courtyard.
Never.
And they were constructed the same way. He also built similar living quarters for Pharaoh's daughter, whom he had married. You know, his princess wife.
Yeah, right.
Here, your house is over there, honey.
Right. They had separate houses.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's the best way to be married. I live here, you live there.
Right, yeah.
From foundation to eaves, all these buildings were built from huge blocks of high-quality stone, cut with saws and trimmed to exact measure on all sides. Some of the huge foundation stones were 15 feet long, and some were 12 feet long.
Okay.
The blocks of high-quality stone used in the walls were also cut to measure, and cedar beams were also used.
Yeah.
As they've
been saying.
been.
Right.
Yeah. The walls of the great courtyard were built so that there was one layer of cedar beams between every 3 layers of finished stone, just like the walls of the inner courtyard of the Lord's temple with its entry room.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
I think that's the end of some of the building.
Got it.
Next section.
I'm glad to hear that because I'm bored.
Boring. King Solomon then asked for a man named Huram to come from Tyre. Wow. Huram. Which sounds so similar to King Hiram.
Yeah, but that's probably not.
I know. I was just saying because Hiram was the king that he got the Sidonian wood from. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
So it's just interesting.
Okay.
He was half Israelite since his mother was a widow from the tribe of Naphtali. And his father had been a craftsman in bronze from Tyre. Huram was extremely skillful and talented in any work in bronze, and he came to do all the metal work for King Solomon.
I see.
Huram, we're not done with building.
No, we're not.
Oh, God.
That sucks. We got to hear about bronze now, because he was good at bronze.
He's a bronze guy.
Yeah.
Huram
if you need a bronze thing done, now we know who to call. It's Huram.
Yep.
Not the Sidonians. That's for cedar cutting. Wood cutting.
Yeah. They were the
bronze,
best.
It's Huram.
He's the best.
Yeah.
Huram cast 2 bronze pillars, each 27 feet tall and 18 feet in circumference. For the top of the pillars, he cast bronze capitals, each 7 feet tall. Each capital was decorated with 7 sets of lattice work and interwoven chains.
Awesome.
He also encircled the lattice work with 2 rows of pomegranates to decorate the capitals over the pillars.
They really love their pomegranates
I'm
back
so
then.
glad that
so many pomegranates.
I'm really glad that pomegranates have entered the chat.
Yeah, right.
The capitals on the columns inside the entry room were shaped like water lilies, and they were 6 feet tall.
Awesome.
The capitals on the 2 pillars had 200 pomegranates.
Damn.
In 2 rows around them.
Yeah.
Beside the rounded surface next to the lattice work.
Good stuff.
Huram set the pillars at the entrance of the temple, one toward the south and one toward the north. He named the one on the south Jachin and the one on the north Boaz.
We're fucking naming architecture now?
Fuck yeah, we are.
Jesus Christ.
The capitals on the pillars were shaped like water lilies, and so the work on the pillars was finished.
Great.
Okay?
Yeah.
Oh, now we're moving into furnishings.
Fucking hell.
Then Huram cast a great round basin 15 feet across from rim to rim called the sea.
I have to go take a bath in the sea.
It was 7 feet deep and about 45 feet in circumference.
Jesus Christ. It's like a fucking pool.
Mm-hmm.
God
That's
damn.
what it is.
Right?
Yes. It was encircled just below its rim by 2 rows of decorative gourds. There were about 6 gourds per foot all the way around, and they were cast as part of the basin.
Why do you need gourds in a fucking pool? Oh,
Decorative.
you know what? They could be like buoy things, right?
They were decorative.
Okay, all right.
What the fuck? It literally said what they were for.
I just wouldn't decorate my pool with gourds. That's all.
Are you from 2,000 years ago or whatever?
No, I'm not.
Then shut the fuck up.
Okay, all right.
The sea was placed on a base of 12 bronze oxen, all facing outward.
Hold on a second. This whole fucking thing, this thing was
this pool
up on top of bronze oxen. Jesus Christ, can you fucking imagine? Like, there's a goddamn pool raised up on top of fucking decorative oxen with gourds surrounding the fucking thing.
And pomegranates.
Like, what the what?
Why?
That's just excessive, like, bullshittery.
It really is. 3 faced north, 3 faced west, 3 faced south, and 3 faced
fucking
east. Duh.
Okay. I wasn't paying attention to what you had already said,
oh
honestly.
my God. I was like, wow, that was a gimme for you.
And then I tried to think of something funny to say, and it didn't come out, so.
Fail.
Yeah.
And the sea rested on them.
Yeah.
The walls of the sea.
The sea.
Were about 3 inches thick.
Yeah.
And its rim flared out like a cup. And resembled a water lily blossom.
That's awesome.
It could hold about 11,000 gallons of water.
Fucking hell.
Jesus Christ. Can you imagine?
Can you imagine being the pool boy for this shit? Like, because they don't have running water back then, so like you're constantly
having
changing out stagnant water.
Right.
That's insane.
Somebody is constantly coming in with a new pail.
Right.
Of
yeah,
water.
like always.
Yeah. Huram also made 10 bronze water carts. Yeah, he did. Each 6 feet long, 6 feet wide, and 4 feet tall. They were constructed with side panels braced with crossbars. It's important knowledge.
Yes, very.
Both the panels and the crossbars were decorated with carved lions, oxen, and cherubim.
For fuck's sake. Do you know what this sounds like to me? Sounds like the dude has way too much money and he's just like fucking frivolously spending it on goddamn pools and buildings. And that's what it sounds like to me. And pomegranates, yeah.
And gourds.
Like just because he can. He's like, I got money.
Yep.
Here, we're just gonna just blow it on shit.
Yep.
No one's fighting us, so
just
whatever.
Spend, dollar.
Right.
Above and below the lions and oxen were wreath decorations. Each of these carts had 4 bronze wheels and bronze axles.
Who the fuck needs a bronze wheel? Why do you need a bronze wheel?
I don't know, but when I hear the word axle, I can't help but think of Beverly Hills Cop 2 when the guy is trying to say axle and he's like, Achel Foley.
Got it.
Axel.
Yeah.
Achel.
Yeah. I was thinking, when you said Axel and you were saying I was thinking of Axl Rose, but that's the first Axel that comes to my head. Now I'm sure everybody's going to have to go out and watch Beverly Hills Cop.
Do you know what that tune is actually called?
No, what's it called?
Axel F.
Is it really?
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. I think that is brilliant.
There's a little bit of
80s trivia for you.
Yeah, 80s trivia for you.
It's listed, Beverly Hills Cop, the first one obviously, is listed as one of the top greatest scripts ever written because it's a perfect screenplay.
Now, I think I did try to rewatch one of those like within the last 5 years maybe.
You shut your dirty mouth.
I don't think it really holds up.
No, it does. I watched it recently.
But there's way too many comments about like things that are not okay to say.
Okay, no, but you go into it knowing that.
Okay. All right.
But the funny parts are, like, the jokes still hold.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Not the
ones that are cringy.
Ones that are cringy. Obviously. That doesn't hold up.
Right.
But the story and the humor itself does hold up.
All right.
That's what I meant to say.
All right.
But you're right. It wasn't good.
No.
There were supporting posts for the bronze basins at the corners of the carts. These supports were decorated on each side with carvings of wreaths.
Okay.
The top of each cart had a rounded frame for the basin. It projected 1 feet above the cart's top. 1 feet above, not 1 foot above. Like a round pedestal, and its opening was 2 feet across. It was decorated on the outside with carvings of wreaths. The panels of the carts were square, not round.
Okay.
Nor triangular, nor hexagonal.
Right, yeah. None of those other shapes.
No. Square, not round.
Right.
Under the panels were 4 wheels that were connected to axles that had been cast as one unit with the cart. The wheels were 2 feet in diameter and were similar to chariot wheels. Okay, I'm just buzzing through this because
it's bullshit.
It's bullshittery and boring.
And again, this guy has way too much goddamn money to spend on bullshit.
Nonsense. The axle, spokes, rims, and hubs were all cast from molten bronze. There were handles at each of the 4 corners of the carts, and these too were cast as one unit with the cart.
Just from the mere fact that they're building the whole goddamn thing out of bronze makes it like you're going to have multiple people wield these things. Like, you can't just have some...
Like, you're not taking your radio flyer wagon.
These are not utility things. They're excessively... They're just excessive. That's all.
They're ridiculous and stupid. They didn't think ahead on these things.
No.
Around the top of each cart was a rim 9 inches wide. Rim. The corner supports and side panels were cast as one unit with the cart. Carvings of cherubim, lions, and palm trees.
Oh my.
Decorated the panels and corner supports wherever there was room.
Yeah.
And there were wreaths all around.
There were lots of fucking wreaths. So many wreaths. They got the most wreaths.
They had the most wreaths. They even outshone Michael's.
Yeah.
And Hobby Lobby and Joanne Fabric. They had the most wreaths of all.
That's why those places are Christian places, right?
Oh my God. They're not all. Only Hobby Lobby, I think.
Hobby Lobby.
I could be mistaken, but I believe Hobby Lobby... I know Hobby Lobby is the only one of those 3 that's closed on Sundays, and they are... the ones that are
Christian-y. Hobby Lobby definitely is like Christian.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think the other 2 are. I think the other 2 are just like, we're just here for business.
Got it. Okay.
We just want your fucking money. We don't
Christian
pretend
or
otherwise.
Not, whatever.
Yeah. Here's your fucking beads.
Get your fucking happy planner here.
All 10 water carts were the same size and were made alike, for each was cast from the same mold. Huram also made 10 smaller bronze basins, 1 for each cart. Each basin was 6 feet across and could hold 220 gallons of water.
Oh, fuck.
Nobody could pull it, but who gives a fuck?
Right.
He set 5 water carts on the south side of the temple and 5 on the north side.
Right.
The great bronze basin called the Sea was placed near the southeast corner of the temple. He also made the necessary wash basins, shovels, and bowls. So at last, Huram completed everything King Solomon had assigned him to make for the temple of the Lord. The 2 pillars, the 2 bowl-shaped capitals on top of the pillars, the 2 networks of interwoven chains that decorated the capitals, the 400 pomegranates that hung from the chains on the capitals, 2 rows of pomegranates for each of the chain networks that decorated the capitals on the top of the pillars. Mm-hmm. That was in parentheses, so I had to use parentheses voice.
Got it.
The 10 water carts holding the 10 basins, the sea, and the 12 oxen under it, the ash buckets, the shovels, and the bowls. Huram made all these things of burnished bronze for the temple of the Lord.
Wait, ash buckets? Do you think they could... Oh, you know what? I wonder if they could, like, heat the pool, because they just, like, light fires underneath it and shit.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, he made that for the temple of the Lord, just as King Solomon had directed. The king had them cast in clay molds in the Jordan Valley between Succoth and Zarethan.
Okay.
Zarethan.
Yeah, that place.
Solomon did not weigh all these things because there were so many. The weight of the bronze could not be measured. We literally just told you the measurements, but...
They couldn't weigh it, though. There was so much, they couldn't weigh it.
Okay.
There's like, we need a fuck ton, so send us a fuck ton. Okay?
Got it.
Yeah.
Solomon also made all the furnishings of the temple of the Lord, the gold altar, the gold table for the bread of the presence, the lampstands of solid gold, 5 on the south and 5 in the north, in front of the most holy place, all capital letters, the flower decorations, lamps, and tongs, all of gold. The small bowls, lamp snuffers, bowls, ladles, and incense burners, all of solid gold. The doors for the entrances to the most holy place, and the main room of the temple with their fronts overlaid with gold.
I have a feeling that we hear a lot about Solomon still because people like their money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, like, this is like just so much.
This is
so fucking much.
So flashy.
Right?
It's unnecessary.
Yeah.
All I can think of is truck nuts.
I'm thinking more like the flashy, like fucking the preachers that have their goddamn
private jets,
lizard snake boots and fucking diamonds on every fucking hand and private jets and everything. I'm like, yeah, this guy is like showing off his wealth for sure.
So King Solomon finished all his work on the temple of the Lord. Then he brought all the gifts his father David had dedicated, the silver, the gold, and the various articles, and he stored them in the treasuries of the Lord's temple. The end. Okay.
I don't know why God needs this much fucking fanfare.
He don't.
And I don't know why Solomon needs this much fanfare when I'm sure that there are people starving in his kingdom. Mm-hmm. I'm positive of it.
Yes.
Because there's rules on how to feed the fucking starving.
Yeah.
And yet,
And yet.
He has so much gold and so much bronze and a goddamn motherfucking heated pool.
A heated pool so big that it's called the sea.
Right?
Capital letters.
Like, I just don't even know what to say. This is just too much.
It's too much.
Like, I know they're trying to go for awe and, like, wonder, but I'm going, like, excessive and bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, you spent way too much goddamn money, and I'm sure, because the Lord has said in previous chapters, he don't need all that shit.
Right.
That this is excessive. This is fucking excessive.
He literally told David, I don't need that house. I've been fine in a tent.
Right.
I presume.
Yeah.
And so then Solomon comes around and what? He changes his mind? Yeah, okay, I'll take the gold now.
Yeah. I mean, like, the whole goddamn Lord's building thing, whatever, is all gold. Yeah. It's all gold. And his place is all bronze and cedar and fucking everything expensive.
It's ridiculous and stupid.
Whatever.
I hate it.
All right.
It definitely didn't age well.
I agree. I don't like that.
I would say that this chapter aged worse than Beverly Hills Cop. Let's take a vote.
Yeah, probably right.
I would definitely rather endure Beverly Hills Cop than this.
Oh, yeah. hands down. All right. I think that's all we got to say, right?
That's all we got to say.
All right, that was 1 Kings chapter 7, and tomorrow we will be back with
1 Kings chapter 8.
All right, we'll see you guys then.
Boy.
Hey, wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegiousdiscourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.